Good evening, dear listener, and it is time for the newscast here on Radio Anafe, deepening love in our society. This evening, you are with me, Mhone, but first, let us look at our top stories. Government has been challenged to be committed in fulfilling their budget declaration on health. The People's Trading Company employees calls for the Minister of Labour intervention on what they call resistance from their employers to pay them their money. Parliament has passed the Emergency Power Restoration Loan Authorization Bill aimed at rehabilitating Kapira Power Plant. Those were the headlines, and now we give you the news in detail. Follow the Money Malawi has challenged government to be committed in fulfilling their budget declaration on health with the aim of improving health delivery in the country so that the citizenry should be enjoying their right of good health. Founder of Follow the Money, Hamza Wala, made the call on Thursday in Lilongwe during the launch of phase 2 of the project called COVID-19 Transparency Accountability in Africa. The organization has today shared their findings on a research on COVID-19 transparency and accountability, specifically on the healthcare accountability and COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the country. Wala told us that their findings have displayed that $600 million was committed towards the fight against COVID-19 pandemic in the country. He commended the Anti-Corruption Bureau (ACB) for their commitment in fighting corruption and called the Bureau to launch an investigation on how government of Malawi used the funds. He further called on the Malawi Human Rights Commission to look into these issues so that authorities should be held accountable and that justice prevails. Wala explains.
The Malawian government committed to their budget declaration that ensures that 15% of public resources would be committed to healthcare in the budget. But due to lack of funding, mismanagement and embezzlement of public resources, a lot of citizens are not enjoying healthcare intervention. Today you have dilapidated healthcare structures, you have lack of manpower, lack of medical supply, lack of medication, and even lack of vaccines just because of mismanagement, misappropriation and embezzlement of public resources, and this is impacting the healthcare. I think that we've all come to some consensus and agreement that health is wealth. When COVID-19 hit Malawi and Africa, we're all on our knees. So we cannot become a power force or a powerful force. We cannot become an economic hub or a regional hub or a regional power broker if we don't invest in our healthcare sector. If health is not taken care of, then there will be no wealth, there will be no sanity. And I believe that if the Malawian government wants to show commitment to the citizens who have elected them into office, they must prioritize healthcare because health is everything.
That's the voice of Hamza Wala, the founder of Follow the Money. Follow the Money is championing COVID-19 Transparency Accountability Project in 10 African countries, including Malawi, Senegal, and Zimbabwe. People's Trading Company employees have today presented a petition to Lilongwe District Commissioner calling for the Minister of Labour to intervene on what they call resistance from their employers to pay them their money. One of the employees, Lone Kanjo, has told us that they want the Tafik Holdings Limited and Press Corporation to give them their June and July salaries together with their pension. It is alleged that the employers misused the money meant for pension, hence the employees calling for the same. Kanjo stressed that life is difficult as they have stayed for 2 months without being paid.
We have held these demonstrations because we are considered staff of PTC. We want Tafika Holdings Limited and the PCL, which is Press Corporation, to give us our arrears, like they sold our company. So they were supposed to give us our money, like pension fund. They were deducting our pension, but they were not giving to the pension fund. And even SACCO, they were deducting our SACCOs. Or if you check my pay slip, you see that they have deducted SACCO, they have deducted pension, but they were not giving to where they were supposed to give. They should pay us our money since the year we started working up till now. Because even if you ask where our SACCO contribution are, they cannot tell you. We don't know where they are keeping our money. Even the pension, we don't know where it is, because since we started working, they have been deducting our pension. But we have heard that since 2019 till now, they were not keeping our pension money, but they were deducting. So we want our money to be given to us because we have worked for the money. We are asking the DC to give our petition to the minister. We want the minister to interfere. We want him to call the PTC, PCL and Tafika Holdings, because we have heard that they are supposed to, one of them is supposed to back off. So the agreement is that if Tafika back off, then he's supposed to pay 500 million to the other company. And if the other company back off, they're supposed to do the other way around. So Tafika doesn't want to back off because he doesn't want to pay that 500 million. Even Press Corporation don't want to back off because they are afraid of paying that money. But because the two of them are fighting, we are the ones suffering. Our families, even if me myself, I'm not paid last month's salary. So if I'm not paid, did not get my salary, how can I pay my landlord? So we are suffering. We don't have food. Our children's school fees. We don't know where to go.
The voice of Lone Kanjo, one of the employees at People's Trading Company. Recently, the Press Corporation Limited announced the selling of the People's Trading Company to Tafika Holdings Limited. A group of armed criminals last night broke into a house belonging to the managing director of Sino Sky Industrial Company, Yuzon Kai, where they went away with 60 million Malaikwaja, a pistol and other assorted items in Natenje in Lirongo district. Lirongo police station spokesperson Hastings Chigalo has confirmed about the development. Chigalo says police has launched a manhunt for the robbers. Chigalo explains to our reporter Monica Chinyamalipia.
Wednesday, around 2300 hours, robbers broke into the house of managing director of Sino Industrial Company, Mr. Yuzon Kai, at my place near Natenje Trading Center, where they went away with 60 million Malawi kwacha, a pistol loaded with 6 rounds of ammunition and the other items, including cell phones. We are told that on this night, the robbers got into this house and started beating those occupants, because we are told that they were at least 4 in number. So after doing all that, taking the money and the cell phones and the pistol, they also removed the hard drive of the CCTV. So this company is located at my place near Natenje Trading Center. It is involved in quality production. So as police, we have gone out to investigate fully to get to the root cause, to the bottom of the incident, and possibly locate the culprits of this robbery.
The voice of Hastings Chigalo, Lirongo Police Station Public Relations Officer. Parliament has passed the Emergency Power Restoration Loan Authorization Bill for the rehabilitation of Kapijira Power Plant, which was damaged by Cyclone Anna some 6 months ago. The bill seeks Parliament to borrow about 62 billion Malawi kwacha, in which about 37 billion Malawi kwacha will be borrowed from the World Bank, while 25 billion Malawi kwacha will be received as grant from development partners. According to Finance Minister Sosteni Gwengwe, about 15 billion Malawi kwacha will be channeled to ESCOM for the transmission of electricity and other related electricity duties. Gwengwe explains.
What has been happening year in, year out is that every cyclone that comes, that dam or that power plant is affected. So they would want to rebuild the plant, but also add some features that would give some resilience even for future cyclones that would be expected. So ESCOM will also have a component in the amount about 15 billion just for the transmission lines and everything else. So this money, let me re-emphasize that it's coming in under the crisis response window, which means that the disbursement is rapid.
The voice of Sosteni Gwengwe, Minister of Finance. Speaking on behalf of the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, Chitipa South Legislator Welan Chilenga says it is unfortunate to treat the damage of the Kapijira power plant issue as an emergency one, saying the matter has been outstanding for so long. Chilenga argued that ESCOM was supposed to pay for the rehabilitation of the Kapijira power plant. He explains to our reporter, Mese Shimwala.
I'm a bit disappointed because, as you may be aware, as from April of this year, Agreco Agreco's contract with the ESCOM or with government was terminated. But up to now, Malawians are still paying for that tariff of Agreco, which is in excess of 1 billion Malawi kwacha per month. Now the question is, what are we paying for? Agreco is no longer there. We are no longer getting power from Agreco, yet that tariff is still existing. What is ESCOM using that money for?
The voice of Welani Chilenga, Chiripa South legislator. And the Malawi Health Equity Network, Mhone, has conveyed its concern over the postponement of the third phase of polio vaccination exercise in the country. The third phase, targeting under 5 children, was scheduled to take place this month, but the exercise has been shifted to August this year. Mhone Executive Director George Jobe suggests that authorities should embark on raising awareness on the shift of exercise to avoid raising fears among the citizenry. Jobe explains to our reporter Monica Chinyamalipia.
We appeal for a lot of awareness raising and sensitization, telling people, explaining to the people why the change, this postponement or extension of the period to get the vaccine should not be taken as part of the routine one. Otherwise, if there is no good publicity, it can confuse some parents and the others may not come with their children to get vaccinated. What we want is this should be successful so that every child is reached. And at the same time, it is high time we start also preparing for the fourth round.
That's the voice of George Jobe, Mhone Executive Director. And with that item, we conclude our newscast this evening. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories. Government has been challenged to be committed in fulfilling the Abuja Declaration on Health. The People's Trading Company employees calls for the Minister of Labour intervention on what they call resistance from their employers to pay them their money. Parliament has passed the Emergency Power Restoration Loan Authorization Bill aimed at rehabilitating Kapila Power Plant. You have been with me, Lester Mhone. Good evening.